Here we go, Torin.
Round two.
What is it? The first day of September?
Ah, man. That was delicious.
Oh, man. Might be a wild one for me today. We're going with Ballast Point margaritas. I got a pineapple margarita, and on deck I have a strawberry margarita, 10% each.
Oh, yeah. Let's get them drinking those beers.
Got that Costco variety pack.
Oh, man.
I gotta say though, this pineapple one is pretty delicious. Haven't tried the strawberry.
All right, I want to see you get through all three of these by the end of this.
Thank God I just don't have to chug this week. I was close though. It was real close. So neither of us got last place in fantasy or in pick'ems.
You sure about that?
I did not get last place in pick'ems. I got second to last because the dude in third had 50.
What about fantasy, though?
I thought I was fifth out of 6, no? I'm pulling it up now. Oh, I was! Fuck. And I had Howland as my captain. And then the rest of my team just shit the bed. Too. All right.
I know, that's why I was going to hit you with that to start off. But.
So weak. And fucking that Tony guy just scoring 85 again.
I know. I have another good week. Just has to beat me.
We'll get him.
I'm only 9 points behind him.
Yeah, you're close. I had a bad week, but I can bounce back.
Unfortunately, we forgot to do prop bets last week, so we can't do any of those, but we'll make sure we do it this time when we get to the betting section. So we'll each pick a greater than 100-point underdog to win or tie.
Wait.
And there were no red cards. So
yeah, no reds.
You save a drink there.
Wait, let's go over the rules real quick. Because we didn't really do it last time. So there are a few extras I need to add on here, but these are the core ones. When we start the show, last place in fantasy or pick'ems has to chug. Red cards, chug. Prop bet losers, which we skipped. And then during the show, any mention of an American player you have to drink. Any trivia question missed, you have to drink. The flip side of that is if you answer the trivia question correctly, the person who asked has to drink. And then any technical difficulties, because we do this live and on one recording, and there are always technical difficulties. So whenever that happens, there's the chug. And then if the fire station siren goes off, which is in the background behind me, we got to finish our drink, which I'm really hoping doesn't happen tonight because of the margaritas.
And then a few more rules that aren't on the board, but we're experimenting with this week for this episode. So first off, we have player battleship.
Ooh, good call.
Before the show, me and Austin each pick 3 players, and we've written them down on the side here. And if the other person at any point mentions any of these players, they will have to drink. We'll show proof that we wrote it down and that we chose that player, that name, and then the other person will have to drink. If the name is anybody that's outside of the Premier League, so playing in a different league out there, it's actually a finish your drink. If you say the name, and then if names you write down get said by the other person, they will have to take a shot. So kind of up in the ante here with the stakes. And if by chance both of us write down the same name, and we figure that out during the show, then we'll each be drinking at the same time. So kind of a new fun rule we'll be playing with.
I like
a couple other ones. If there's any mention of a non-top 5 league, so any league besides Premier League, Bundesliga, Ligue 1, Serie A, and La Liga, it's a drink. And lastly, or no, that's it for the new rules for now. We do have a couple more we're tossing around.
Yeah, that'll work for now. But before we get into the weekly recap, can I just do a PSA real quick on how fucking stupid our Pick'ems League is? I'm seeing Blake on Saturday for our fantasy football draft, and I'm going to let him know just how shitty this Pick'ems League is, because I got 5 games picked correctly, and yet someone who only picked 4 correctly, got 40 more points than I did. And then another guy
Yeah.
who got 5 correctly, the same as me, doubled my score because he got 2 exacts. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's not weighted right. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you're right. Yeah.
it's fucking
Yeah.
dumb.
He got one less right than you and got 40 more points.
It's fucking dumb. I don't.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
Yeah. It's not balanced right. I don't think. Well, I wish you were able to adjust it, but.
Yeah, I'm gonna let him know this week.
I mean, you're not much better than me. I'm sitting dead last. Right
Dude,
now.
I'm dead last, but I fucking pick winners every week.
But
I just haven't.
seriously,
I
so
literally haven't hit
I'm-
one exact this whole year.
Dude, I'm looking at this right now. So compared to the person in first, I've only missed 5 picks more than them. But I'm 310 points behind
That's
them.
what I'm saying. It's fucking dumb. It's so stupid. Yeah,
So bad.
it's so
Yeah.
fucking dumb. So yeah, I'm obviously
I'm glad you
heated
put
about
that
that.
together too. That's pissing me off. I actually managed to get a 40 this week. I'm only my second one of the season. So there you go.
Anyways,
well,
let's
why don't we jump into
let's
the-
segue real
oh.
quick into the weekly recap because there were a lot of good games
Yep.
this week.
There
So,
were.
I'll let you kick it off. With
Yeah. Yeah. So just running through some of the main highlights. Obviously, starting with the last game of the week today was the Man U game against Leicester. Man U kind of continues their new form, their role. So they've now won 3 in a row after their pretty treacherous start. So what are you feeling after you see that today? You feeling like they've actually found their groove, or you're still a little unsure about what's going on behind the scenes?
Well, I think they're much better than at the beginning of the year. I still think they have a ways to go. We'll talk about transfers later, but for this game, like they're still a strong team. They have so much talent. They should be playing better, and they are playing better. My boy Harry Maguire is still on the bench, which is good. The coach actually knows what he's doing. And then
Great call.
I still don't understand why Casemiro has to start on the bench. It's like you just paid a shitload of money for this guy. Why are you going to sit him for the first hour? Like, why do all coaches do that? I'll never understand it.
And it always happens when you say that. Like, so and then somebody comes in the 60th minute and like they're never ready to play. Like,
yeah, it's
they're
like
gonna make
why
mistakes and stuff.
you have to be loyal to the guys that you're just about to bench that are never going to play again. Like they just paid a shitload of money to bring this guy in. The other players understand like, well, fuck, there goes my time. Like you don't need to be like, oh, thanks coach for giving me that hour. Now I'm never going to play again. Like,
yeah,
it just is stupid. Everyone knows why he's there. Put him on the field. I don't get it.
yeah,
I don't
get it either.
But yeah,
For sure.
they've made a lot of good additions, and they're turning it around quickly, thank God, because there would have been riots. But Leicester's still in last place.
I know, man.
They looked better, though. They looked better. I'm still
They
not
did. Well,
red alarm yet for them.
yeah, with Madison back, they look much more threatening. Like he was out last game, I believe. Maybe I'm not sure about the one before, but with him there, I mean, he's a threat. Threat with free kicks. Threat with kind of picking passes out, taking shots from outside the box. So they look like a different team with him in. I think they look more like their old selves for sure.
Exactly.
They got to turn it around here because they're sitting at the bottom. 1 point.
I know.
I think the other very exciting game of the weekend was the Liverpool Newcastle. So anybody that didn't watch came down to the very last minute of the game, beyond injury.
On a
time.
scale of 1 to 10, if you were on the team, how pissed would you be?
On Newcastle.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah, I'd be. I mean, you could tell if you saw the coaching staff. Just
Oh
going
my
berserk.
God! Yeah, they were gonna
was-
fight, dude. Here's what I want to know because I didn't watch that game live. I watched the highlights. I just want to know if there was some sort of injury or something that happened in stoppage time that made that
Time wasting
extension
Yeah.
past the 5 minutes legitimate or not, or
Yeah.
if it was just like, hey, we're at Anfield, let's just keep it rolling, and so I don't get knifed on the way out of here.
Yeah, I don't. I don't know. I also watched the highlights, so I didn't see the full 5 minutes. So it was supposed to be 5 minutes of extra time. It ends up in the eighth. I think it was the 8th minute
It did
of
end up in the
extra
eighth, yeah.
time when they scored the go-ahead goal to win 2-1. And I think they just blew the whistle after the kick off. And so there was literally no time left. I I think regardless, there's once it starts getting to like the 3 minutes over extra time, that's start excessive. I get it, letting it go an extra minute into the second minute, but it would have taken a lot for it to go that far
Yeah.
over. So
Well,
I would be pissed. I wouldn't be listening to any excuses. I would have my mind made up that it was all top six bias bullshit.
yeah.
And,
I think though my takeaways from that game,
be able to tell me otherwise.
what I take away from that game is Newcastle's a strong team. They fight, and even without Callum Wilson, they could have used him. They didn't even have Saint Maximin either, and they still played
I know,
hard.
but
So
yeah, but shout out Ishak, great signing.
oh yeah,
Yeah, I don't know if you saw him play, but yeah, I mean he's been great, great for Sweden.
well yeah
And,
yeah, the new signing. That's the way to make a name for yourself. He had a good second goal too that was offsides.
just that far.
Yeah. So
That's
yeah,
fair.
what a way to enter the league right there. That's pretty sick.
At Anfield, yeah, that was pretty baller. Yeah, so running through a few other of the finishes from.
In my opinion, we buried the lead because Southampton beating Chelsea, I think, should be number
That
one.
was next on the list there, yeah.
So
So they had the surprise upset.
is it? I guess it is a surprise, but Chelsea's just not playing well. They're not playing well right now, and
Yeah.
Southampton should never beat Chelsea, let alone like. It wasn't like I feel like Chelsea didn't even have that many chances. I don't know. It's gross. It was a gross game for Chelsea.
Yeah, you could tell they need midfield help. They really are struggling without Conte there.
They miss
And-
Conte so badly. That
Yeah,
second goal that we
so
rewatched,
bad. We already, yeah.
where the dude just skated by Jorginho. Jorginho like got out of the way to like allow. Like, oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Go right ahead. Like it looked like he literally stepped out of the way. It was so bad.
Yeah.
Wait, I think I have it here. Let me show you how bad this was.
Let's watch it again. I want to see this. I remember seeing that when Jorginho just kind of flashing himself away.
Also, coach looked like he could just fight anybody in the stadium and win.
He's got that look about him.
Here it is. Here it is. Oh no,
There you
we
go.
missed it. Okay, sorry.
It's a bit too early.
Cue it back up.
Yeah, let's go back to the live.
Here it is. I'm not gonna.
And I feel like everyone knows. Like if you watch the Chelsea players, it's like they know their midfield was weak.
So if they're watching tape, you got to be like, Jorginho, what the fuck? Like,
If I were them, I would play 5 midfielders. Like you have to switch into we're a defense first team. Like forget about trying to score every time we go down the.
well, they're kind of doing that with
Like,
they have Cucurella on the side and whoever he decides to put on the right, usually James, but. I hate the vibes at Chelsea. I don't like the lineups. Without Conte, they hurt in the back. Up top, they're toothless.
Yeah.
They made a good signing, which we'll talk about, but right now they're just gross.
Yeah, I feel you there. Yeah, so a few other finishes. So there was an exciting game between West Ham and Tottenham. West Ham really had some chances to win that. I think they had 2 or 3 shots off the post right there.
Dude, that Antonio one was close. You still there? Did I lose you?
But yeah, overall just a real exciting game.
You froze for a second. with like a
I'm
really
back.
excited face, and I was like, "Oh shit, he's probably saying something really good right now." That counts as a technical difficulty.
Frank.
And then do we need to talk about Man City just 6-0?
I mean,
They're not
I mean,
fair. Like the only teams that can
yeah,
compete
that's
with
not
them are
fair.
like the top 4, and even then it's like an uphill
Yeah,
battle for the opposing team.
yeah, it's just yeah, that's not fair. I mean, they're just too good.
De Bruyne didn't even
If they
start.
if they you know pending not having injuries, I mean they've got to be the favorite. And I'm really upset that our Haaland
Dude, I was thinking the same
goals leader
thing.
bet
I was like,
didn't go
fucking
through,
Blake. If he
man.
would have gotten to
We're on it.
Vegas
We're
like
on it.
4 hours earlier, we would have got
We
that
would have
bet
had
in,
to
and
have money in.
yeah, we would have been like $50 richer. All right. Any other games you want to talk about?
um, yeah, just a quick mention. Just so Brighton first stumble of the season, so they lost at Fulham 2-1. Shout out Fulham.
Yeah. Happy for Fulham. Oh, nice.
Shout
I
them
didn't
out.
notice. Hell yeah.
Give them their props.
My brother went to one of their games.
The black and white army.
Nice. My brother went to one of their games at home when Dempsey was on the team. Oh, American. That still counts even though he's retired.
I think I better get some more beer.
Um, that was pretty sick. Do you remember? You might remember. You remember that goal he scored where it hit the crossbar and then came back and hit the goalie and then went in?
Yeah,
It was that game.
just 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 lace that. I remember that.
Yeah, pretty sick.
Uh, yeah, but shout out Fulham. Pulling out the victory. So first stumble for Brighton, but I still think they're sitting top 7. I think where they at. Oh, they're still sitting fourth.
Yeah, they're
So
still in fourth, but that win for Fulham puts them in the top 10. They're in
I
8.
know
Hell
eighth,
yeah.
eighth overall,
Oh man.
tied with Liverpool
So
on
if
the
the
season.
league ended
How
today,
awesome is
the
that?
relegated teams would be Wolves, Villa, and Leicester. That would be
Yep.
nuts.
Yeah.
I don't think any of those Wolves actually. I don't like how they look, but and Villa, ugh. But Leicester, I think get out of it. No problem.
Yeah, it's really tough to figure out who's it gonna be. But I think it's yeah. We can talk more about that later. But
Yeah,
the league is so good. Like
it's
it's so
so
hard to
good.
choose the
It's
3 worst
it's
teams.
so good. I think Bournemouth's gonna have problems. Um,
Yeah,
and
I mean Bournemouth's the only one where I'm like, okay, for sure. Fulham was that other one, but they're playing well.
yeah.
Like they played way better than they did when they were last up,
Hmm.
and they're kind of it's kind of giving hope that they can actually compete at this level.
Yeah.
And then Nottingham spent so much money they can't lose. Like they spent such an incredible amount of money. Like their team's just too good to lose. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know who's going to be.
It'll be fun to watch. That's for sure. But let's skip ahead to the transfers because it is deadline day. So that means we had a lot of player movement, a lot of big names too. So we
Yeah.
mentioned Isak with the move to Newcastle and a sweet opener. Um,
Yeah.
all right, you tell me. You lay out the rest for me.
All right. Yeah. So a couple other big moves. So we mentioned that Chelsea did make some adjustments on deadline day, try to strengthen where they have weakness. Number one, as we've been saying all season, is that striker. So they were able to come through with a transfer for Aubameyang. I believe it's permanent, not a loan. Transfer from Barcelona. And then they also brought in Zakaria to bolster the midfield from Juventus. So a young Swiss international that's been moved to Juventus in January, so hasn't been there very long, but has shown a lot of promise. So a couple key areas where they need help. Obviously, Aubameyang much more seasoned and established, so you kind of know what you're getting with them. Zakaria a bit more of a gamble. But what are your thoughts on
Well, and they got
going for
Fofana,
Aubameyang?
right?
They did too. I forgot. Yeah, you're right. So that became official. That was actually official, I think, a couple of days ago. But
So
Yeah, Fofana for $87 million.
that's insane. I didn't
Covered
think
from
it was that
Leicester.
good. I haven't watched him
Yeah.
play that much, to be honest. I think I've seen him like twice probably, and I wasn't really focused on him, so I'm not sure how good he is. But I mean, we saw how unimpressive their defense was. So uh, he and Zakaria potentially, he's kind of a defensive midfielder, right? The young kid.
Hmm. Yeah.
They're both young, but it'll
Yeah,
be
I
interesting
think
to
yeah,
see.
good moves for them. I'm curious to see how he fits in because they like I don't know. I'm never convinced with how Chelsea plays in terms of the back line. But yeah, I think it's too much money to pay for a defender, but I think he's a good defender.
Yeah.
So I to compare this to something else, I think this is a better overpay than the overpay was for Maguire. If I were to compare the
Oh,
two, and Maguire being until this point, I think this eclipsed Maguire as the most expensive defender purchase ever.
yeah, yeah. You know my feelings on that. I agree.
Yeah.
Um, well, I think what they should have done is just it would have been cheaper to keep Rudiger. Fool was awesome. Like, what the fuck? I don't understand shit sometimes, but
Yeah, and I really don't understand that one because it's like the German connection too. Like,
I don't
what?
get it. Maybe he didn't want to be
Uh,
there, or I don't know. I think Tuchel's an idiot, but what do I know? I'm just an asshole drinking, talking about soccer.
Padre fan. Jay, go ahead.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah. So what the
So,
fuck do I know?
let's
But
talk
wait,
about
wait. One more follow up there.
Yeah,
What's the lineup going to be then with Aubameyang on the team? How are they going to play the top?
Havertz sits. They put Sterling and Aubameyang up. Either they drop back and they play like a 3-6-1, or they go with like Sterling and Aubameyang up top off of each other, and then it's like a 3-5-2. So I think Havertz sits.
Havertz was one of my battleship names.
Oh, you set
I
me
kind
up
of
for that.
baited you into it, but I wasn't
Yeah.
trying to. Um, and then once I said it, and then you said Havertz the first time, I was like, oh man, I feel bad. So I didn't say anything. But the second time you said it,
But once
I
I
was like,
said it
okay.
again, nice. I'll count it a drink.
um, but yeah, I think
Uh,
if his dumbass plays Havertz with Aubameyang, I'm just gonna be like, what are we doing?
yeah.
But
Yeah, and I think he's going to have less of a problem choosing Aubameyang over Havertz because Aubameyang played for him for so many years at Dortmund
oh
that
yeah,
he's
there's
got
that
he's
connection.
got that he's got the connection, so he's gonna. I think it's less likely that sort of that Havertz bias comes into play here. So I think that's what happens. What also needs to happen is Pulisic needs to fucking play. Drink. Sorry.
Man, yeah, Pulisic. This is a sad drink because I was hoping he went somewhere.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I don't even care where. Just let him play. Like,
He
I don't want
doesn't.
him to just sit on the bench and not play.
What's hard is like Mason Mount has been sucking, but Pulisic's game isn't like the same as Mason Mount's. It's like Pulisic always needs to play where like Sterling is. So like it's hard to just say he should play instead of Mount, but he needs to play somewhere. And
I would
I don't
say
know how he's
that
going to
I
fit
think
in.
Mount is struggling partly because the lineup is
There's
set
no
up weird,
striker.
and it's hard for him to like be as influential as he was last year because it's just a weird lineup. Like, and the pieces don't fit well up top. Like, hopefully this Aubameyang thing will help them, but yeah, it's just it's easy to see. Like, it's not a good group that are working together and clicking. I don't.
Well, I think he's a type that works really well with a true striker. Like he like kind of fills those gaps in behind them. Like he can take advantage of the space created by like somebody that runs through and pulls defenders. Like that's the type of stuff he thrives in. I feel like, and so I'm hopeful that he actually does play better with Aubameyang there. But regardless, we hope our boy gets some sort of playing time
Yeah.
besides the last 5 minutes.
All right, from one American to the next, we got Dest moving off Barcelona. How do you feel about this going to AC Milan?
I mean, it needed to happen. Xavi just doesn't have faith in him. It appears he wasn't playing, wasn't going to play. They brought in what's his name, Kunye or whatever.
Kuta
To kind of take
Kinte?
his. What's that?
Kuta Kinte?
Kunde, that's his name. Just came in to play that sort of right winger role. So he really didn't have a spot. So I'm happy to see him move to another big team, not just some, mid-level team. So I think it'll be good.
I'm liking that AC Milan team too.
Yeah, before the World Cup. So I think it's a good move for him.
For sure.
And then they backfilled. So with him leaving, they also made some moves at Barcelona. They brought in Hector Bellerin, who's been kind of off the radar for a year or two, from I think Real Betis, and then Marcus Alonso, who obviously left Chelsea in the offseason, is now signed as well. So a couple defenders they brought in with Dest leaving.
And then, you got Brooks to Benfica, Dendonker to Villa, Draxler to Benfica. My Benfica pick, I love that for my Benfica pick in the Champions League draw. I've always had a soft spot for Draxler.
Yeah, and we got a drink to Brooks there, American.
Oh, for sure. Sorry, I glanced over that.
Yeah,
Damn, a lot of Americans on this one.
Yeah, hopefully he cracks the starting lineup, get some more experience before the World Cup. And then another big shout out to
you're all in, baby.
Making some moves. So they pulled Willian back out of the Brazilian league, come back to England. He's been training with the club for 2 weeks. I guess I didn't hear about this, but he hadn't signed under contract, so he finally signed today to officially be back. They also pulled Kurzawa off of PSG on loan. So they're continuing to make some moves.
Let's
for
go.
a team that kind of seemed like they were established.
I fucking love Willian.
Yeah, I think that's great for them.
I think he's not completely washed yet. He's still got some juice.
It's a perfect type of team because a team like that is right. It's like a bunch of young guys that have the energy. Like that's the type of player they're going to have. So then you complement that with somebody that can like make that pass, right? Or make the right play.
Yeah.
And they're going to capitalize. So I think it's a great combination.
For sure. And then you have to pronounce these next few names.
Yeah, so
I can't do it.
The last few moves. So Akanji, who's a defender on Dortmund, who's actually been playing really well over the last couple of years. I think he's been at Dortmund at least 3 years. Was just signed by Man City. So they're continuing to kind of bolster their defense. I guess what's his name is still out. His fucking name, Laporte. So another good addition to their defensive line. They just keep to kind of swoop up all the best players out there. And then another move for your boys at Wolves. They pulled another striker, which has been kind of a weakness so far at the start of the season. Pelagic from Stuttgart, a 6'7" Austrian dude.
Yeah.
Who scored, I think he scored 25 goals over the last 2 years in the Bundesliga. So I think a pretty solid pickup.
Yeah, but he's not going to start. You don't think he starts over Jimenez, right?
I think they might just to put the fear of God in Jimenez. I don't know. I feel like Jimenez hasn't been performing well.
I think the reason they're losing is because they don't play Adama Traore. Fucking love that guy.
He finally subbed in this last game.
I know he's not the best player in the world, but he just makes a difference every time he touches the ball. He's just so fucking fast. Like, how does he not get playing time? Because he's Spanish? He's not Portuguese?
Yeah, that's probably it.
If he was Portuguese, man, he would be starting every game. Oh, no, man.
And then the last move, of note that I saw from today was Michi Batshuayi, who technically is I forget if he's technically part of Crystal Palace or Chelsea, but whatever he is, he moved to Nottingham on loan for the rest of the season. So he was playing, I think, in Turkey last year, um, but another familiar name back in the Premier League.
Yeah, another
I think another
guy who
good,
used to be on a big club but never panned out.
yeah.
Taking a
But that's
step.
the type of guy you need at a place, at a promoted team and bring
Yeah,
some
he can come in and
experience
score a
in.
goal.
And then just a little bit of a stat here to share with you. So I was looking through at within this transfer window, all the top dollar moves, so the most expensive moves that happened. And I just thought it was interesting to see that of the top 10 money moves, the most expensive being Anthony to Man U for I think 95, 97 million. Eight out of the top 10 were two Premier League clubs. So from either one Premier League club to another or from another league to the Premier League. And of the top 20, 14 of the largest moves were also to the Premier League. So just another point of reference of the
That's
Premier League just being head and shoulders above all these other leagues in the world in terms of getting the best talent, the best players, and people wanting to go there the most
I,
of all the leagues.
well. There's no more transfers of note that we want to talk about. So I want to ask you this: it's clear that the Premier League is by far the best league in the world for the reason that you just mentioned. All the money is there, and therefore all the best players are there, or majority of the best players are there. Is that a good thing, or would you like more parity and have like the Italian league be what it was like 10 years
Oh,
ago, or maybe the German league step it up, or the Spanish league? The French league is probably a step below those three. But would it be
I mean,
better or worse, or
I'm
do you
first.
like all the best players in one league?
No, I do like the idea, like, because that's what makes the Champions League so great, right? Is that there are good players and good teams in other leagues, and they might play with different styles, and they might have different types of coaches, and there's something different about each of the different countries and the style of play and everything. So I think it's a good thing. I think the intention on paper might be like, oh, this would be great if all the best players were in one league, but I could see it devolving into something almost very boring, um, where there's everyone's just doing the same thing, and every team is some crazy super team, and it makes everything a lot less interesting. I feel like so. I'm a fan of parity among the leagues. I personally have a bias towards Italy and would want that league to kind of come back to its former glory, from top to bottom. But the reality is there is no league nearly as balanced as the Premier League from top
Yeah.
to bottom. And it's just not even close.
What keeps
I
it
think, yeah,
what keeps it entertaining in the other leagues is that they still have the top heavy teams that
yeah,
can compete
they
with the
do.
Premier League team. The difference in the Premier League is that it's so deep that
Yeah,
the 20th, if you took Leicester, which is literally the 20th team in the Premier League right now, and you just drop them in the Spanish league or the German league, they're going to compete for a top spot. They're not going to win. They're not better than a
yeah.
Barca
They're not going to
or
be
Real Madrid.
iron. They're going to be a top four team.
Exactly. They're going to be a top 14.
Yeah,
And I don't think they're going to end at 20th place, but it just goes to show that so far they are the 20th best team, and that's just how
and
deep the
it's,
league is. It's crazy.
yeah,
So,
yeah. It's awesome. I mean, it's great. That's why we love the Premier League so much. But we don't want to take that too far, if you know what I'm saying, because there is value in that diversity among the leagues and the countries that I really think is important to the game staying true to its sort of true nature.
for
So,
sure.
all right, why don't we move into some trivia?
You want to go first this time?
Sure, I'll go first. Yeah, so a few stat questions for you. Don't look at the screen. So I just unhit it. Um, so once again, Premier League stats here. So I'll give you a few guesses for these guys. The first one is you had recently done a stat before a question or a trivia question to me about who is the all-time leader in assists in the Premier League. What I'm asking you is who had the most assists in one season?
Who had the most assists in one season?
In one season. And a couple hints here. So first off, there's a tie for first.
Okay.
Two different players. And then my second hint is, I'll give you the opportunity to try to name both, but one of the players is a current player in the league. One of the others is retired, but is, I'll say, well known and somebody that you know, even though they're retired now and played in the past. So those are the two different players that hold this record.
Okay. My first instinct, which I'm just going to go with, is Kevin De Bruyne.
Yes.
He's Kevin De Bruyne.
Correct. I knew you'd get that one.
Hell yeah. All right. The second one, retired.
I'll give you 4 guesses for the second one.
Ooh, 4. That's a random number. Okay.
Well, it was going to be 5 for both, and you already used 1.
Oh, okay. See, I just don't know how far back. I would say, how about?
I'll say it's after 2000. It's
okay.
The last.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about?
Well, I'll say it's
Ozil?
a well-known player. It isn't some obscure player. It's somebody you definitely know.
Is it Ozil?
No.
That fool never shot it. Just always looking for the assist.
Mr. Nash.
For real. Him and Nasri on the same team. Oh my god. Okay. Who else is an assist guy? It's got to be one of the top teams. So.
Yeah,
it's probably not. Giggs?
No. All right, so 2 more guesses. I'll give you another hint here.
Hang on, don't give me a hint. Don't give me on my last guess. Give me a hint.
Okay.
What's the number, by the way? As I'm stalling.
20 assists.
20
one season. Kevin De Bruyne in the 2019-2020 season with 20.
Fabregas?
No.
Damn, I thought I had it with that one.
That was pretty good, though. I think what is he, second on the list, was it? All-time list or something like that? All right, so I'll give you maybe a couple hints here. So one is he's not known for assisting, I'll say. He's much more known for scoring goals.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, man. No, it wouldn't be him.
And I can give you another one.
Frank Lampard?
No.
I don't know.
Thierry Henry.
Oh, nice.
He had 20 assists in 02-03.
Damn, I didn't know he had that many. Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that. I wouldn't have guessed that. I thought of that team, but I didn't even consider him.
Right? I didn't consider him at all either. I was like, holy shit, he's tied for the most in a season ever. Because I was like, no way.
When you think of assists, you immediately just cross off goal scorers, like true goal scorers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he could do both. Dude, he was so good.
He
was so fucking
good. I think he was voted the best Premier League player ever, right? Something like that.
Something like that. I don't know who did that, but
yeah.
I mean,
okay. Well, that was a good effort. You got 1 of 2. So my next question here is who holds the record for the most consecutive appearances? And then I'll give you a few hints with this one.
Alan Shearer.
So, no.
Damn.
4 guesses left. The most consecutive appearances. 1, it's a goalie.
Oh, duh. I should have guessed that already.
2, I know for a fact that you know who this is, so it isn't some obscure goalie. Like, I know you know who this guy is.
Yeah.
And 3, it wasn't for just one team. Like, it was across multiple teams.
You're speaking about him like he's in the past, so...
Yes, and he's not playing anymore.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. Yeah.
Okay.
He's retired.
Is it Czech?
No. 3 more.
Lehman?
No. That's kind of the right era, though.
Seaman. Oh, man, I'm like 5 years old. I couldn't laugh. Could not laugh at that.
Okay, I'll give you. So no, 2 guesses left. I'll give you the time frame. So this was from 2004, 2012, and it was 310 consecutive Premier League appearances.
Wait, really narrowed it down there. Give me that 12-year window.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll give you another hint after.
No, stop.
No, when you're down to 1 guess.
I'd rather just drink instead of being told what the answer is. Let's go with. Fuck, I don't know. Brad Friedel, American, drink.
You got it. How'd you know?
I didn't. I just was like, you know what? I thought of Friedel and Tim Howard, and I was like, it's not Tim Howard. I was like, maybe it's Friedel, but at least I'll make Torin. At least I'll make Torin drink on this, no matter what. That was my thinking.
He has the record.
That's awesome.
He's got American has a Premier League record. I didn't even know that.
Fucking
He's
sick.
got the most consecutive appearances.
By the way, have you heard him talk? Because he used to announce some games.
Not in a really long time.
So, obviously, he was in England for a long time because he has the record for appearances.
Yeah.
He has this weird fucking American quasi-English accent that is so
Really?
fucking weird. It's not an American accent, and it's definitely not an English accent, but it's like this blend, and it's super awkward to listen to.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, he used to announce games, and every time he would talk, I was like, dude, he's like becoming British, but he's not quite there yet. You know what I mean? Like, he's transitioning.
And then he halted his metamorphosis halfway and came home.
Yeah, exactly. It's super funny. All right, well, last guess, I got it. Hell yeah.
That was really good. And then I have one last one for you.
Oh, okay.
Another all-time Premier League stat. Who do you think has the most hat tricks in the history of the Premier League?
I immediately thought of Thierry Henry, so I'll stick with him.
No, 4 more guesses.
Alan Shearer.
No, 3 more guesses.
Rooney.
No, 2 more guesses. This player was...
Sergio Aguero.
Yes. You got it.
I missed a bunch, so I'm just going to finish. I got a little left.
Well, no, you got it within 5. That's a win.
Yeah, but I'm drinking every time I miss one.
Okay. I thought you'd get that one of all of them. So.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna get by without guessing him. All right. I have less trivia questions.
Okay.
But I have a good one, or I thought it was interesting. So you asked me who the youngest team was in the World Cup, and I immediately knew because I'm a true fan. Who is the youngest team in the Premier League?
Oh, fuck me. Oh, fuck. Uh,
I will
um,
say there's a tie, so you have a chance. You have a 1 in 10 chance because there's two teams that tie for this.
youngest team. Uh, who the hell's really young?
Oh, actually, sorry, I missed the line. There's only one. Sorry, only one, not two. There's only one.
Oh, uh, how many guesses do I guess?
I'll give
Two,
you three guesses.
three guesses. Okay.
I will say they
Uh,
are a top of the table team.
oh, don't give it away that much.
This year, they're whatever. Right
Yeah,
now, like they're
it's
not like a
Arsenal.
yes. Damn, nice one on the first guess.
I was debating between Arsenal, what's it called, Crystal Palace, and Bournemouth. So you kind of, when you said top of the table, I was like, okay, Arsenal.
Uh, Leeds and Brighton are a close second.
Hmm.
Average age of 24.8 years old. Arsenal's 24.3.
Oh wow!
Uh,
All right.
it's interesting to see. I won't have you guess them all because it's all random. But the oldest team is West Ham at 27.7.
Oh, old.
Old as fuck, right? God, dude, it's so weird. Like how young soccer players are, and how they
Yeah.
don't. They just age out so fast. I feel like it's kind of interesting if you look at other sports, like American sports. Basketball, you can play into your 30s and still be
Baseball, play to your full.
baseball. Well, baseball, you don't move. You could
Yeah.
you could be fat, you could be paraplegic, and as long as you have good hand-eye coordination, you can get by. Albert Pujols
Yeah.
is still playing and hitting homers. Um, but yeah, soccer, it's a young man's game. Um,
Yeah.
I thought
It
that was
really
I thought that
is.
was interesting. Fulham is number two, with the oldest team in the league, 27.3. So it's all
Ah.
it's all just okay. Follow up question.
Okay.
Now, this is amazing. I think it would be easy to choose the the value of the players. Who's got the most expensive team? It's clearly Man City. I think that would be an easy guess. But what's crazy is that they're valued over $1 billion. Over $1 billion. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That's rivaling national teams for sure.
So the
Like the
top
France
six,
team and the England.
the top six, uh, like priced teams, in order: Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man United, Tottenham, Arsenal. Those are the top six. Obviously, they spend the most money. It's so crazy that just spending the most money makes you win. It's that simple.
Yeah. It
So,
is.
having said that, who are the bottom three? You would think, okay, that's the top six. They're the six best teams over the course of the season. So that leads me to believe, okay, the bottom three are probably going to get relegated, right? So
Yeah.
can you name the bottom three teams in market value?
Okay, and when we say market value, it's like, oh, when they bought the player, what they cost, or like just their current
I
value.
think it's the current value of the existing
Okay.
roster.
Okay. Bournemouth.
Yes. Damn, you're
Okay.
feeling it. All right.
Uh,
They're the bottom at 184 million.
okay. Brentford.
No, Brentford is actually what 14th? Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess. Well, I feel like Fulham's made
Dreaming
a
for
bunch
the
of
last one you
moves,
got right.
but Fulham.
Fulham's number 2. Last one.
uh, Based on market value. I got this. I got this. It is. Can't be them, can it? Nah.
Let me know when you're ready for a hint.
Crystal Palace?
No, they are 15th. I'll give you a hint. This team
What?
is currently in the top half of the table.
I don't know who's in the top. Oh, Brighton.
Yes, it's Brighton.
Dumbass. God, why didn't I think of Brighton?
Brighton.
I thought through every other team, and somehow I skipped Brighton.
But what's funny is, okay, so we both mentioned Bournemouth earlier being like they're probably the worst team in the league. And
Yeah.
it makes sense given their payroll. But Fulham and Brighton, we both kind of like what they've been doing lately. And so it'll be interesting to see if they can stay up.
Yeah.
Nottingham Forest, even with all the acquisitions that they have, are still 16th. So they're near the bottom.
Some work to do.
But it's so top heavy with Man City.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So yeah, I thought that was
Yeah, that's a good one. Speaking of Nottingham, as we transition into real or fake, there was a real or fake question for you. So,
okay.
being that Nottingham has gone out, as you said, spent all this money, the owners bought into going after who the coach wants, getting players that he knows, that he's worked with, that he's coached, that he's played against, going and getting veterans, bigger names, kind of across the board, spending a ton of money, while still going to play a team like Man City and losing 6-0. Do you think Nottingham is real or fake?
I think
this dichotomy going on.
I think they are real, but I think my definition of real for that team is they are a contender to stay in the league, to be middle of the table. I think that's where they can live. I think a ceiling for them is like 8th in the league. The floor is obviously relegation. I think it's possible that they get relegated, but I do think that they are probably like a 13, 14 spot by the end of the year. That's what I think.
Okay. All right.
So, I do think they're real.
Yeah, I think if that's the terms we use as real, I would agree. I think they finished bottom half, but
I think they stay up is my point. I don't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't pick them to get relegated off of what I've seen so far this year.
Yeah, I would agree. Where do they sit then on the going back to your last question in terms of team market value with all the moves they've made?
They're 16th, so they're near the bottom.
So
they're near the bottom.
Yeah. Okay.
This may not be updated.
They've spent a ton of money. They've had a huge net spend.
But they probably started so low.
They started with nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
they're spending all that just to even get to the teams level that are in the Premier League right now, which is crazy.
Exactly. Fulham and Bournemouth were in the Premier League and dropped, right? So they already had established like a core that's Premier League level, right? Exactly. So it makes sense. It makes sense like this. It doesn't mean like, oh, they're some wonder team now. They're just trying to get up to the level.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
All right.
Exactly. All right. So I didn't have any. Or I had some would you rather's.
I have a few for you too. Why don't you hit me with yours first?
All right, I'll go first because mine all tie into each other because there's a theme to them. Would you rather have on your team? Forget about like the rest of the team. The rest of your team is blank. Okay, this is in a vacuum. Just these two players versus each other. Would you rather have Aubameyang or Jesus, Gabriel Jesus?
Right now.
Right now. This one season. Okay. You get one season to play.
I'd rather have Jesus.
Okay. Would you rather have Sterling or Jesus?
To start a team.
No, not to start a team. You already have your team, but it just yeah. Okay, or to start your team, I guess. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like you're the first player off the board type thing.
But you
Um,
can only pick Sterling or Jesus. Who do you pick?
it's a good question. I like Jesus.
Okay. The reason I picked those three guys. Okay, then let's go. They're on the same team now, but would you rather have Sterling or Aubameyang?
um, Aubameyang.
Okay, so you go Jesus, Aubameyang, Sterling. I just
Yeah.
think it's interesting that they basically just shuffled teams because Aubameyang was on Arsenal, didn't
Ah,
didn't really go that well. He left. Now he's on Chelsea. Sterling and Jesus were both on Man City, and now one went to Chelsea, and then Jesus went to Arsenal. And it's like a rebirth. You
yeah,
know, like
killing it.
on Man City, he was struggling. He didn't fit well with that team, and
Yeah,
on Arsenal, so far things are clicking.
yeah,
So
looking good.
it's just interesting. I feel like they're all kind of in the same. Well, I think Aubameyang and Jesus, like you, are a tier above Sterling. Uh,
I,
they're kind of different
well,
players, but
well, you just made the comment about age, and that was one of the big things for me. Is I feel like Jesus is the youngest and most sort of energetic and probably durable of all three. I expect Aubameyang to get a bunch of weird injuries and shit,
yeah.
and
Well,
just
I
gain
think
hair
also
for
we don't talk about it, but I think your mental state and your confidence make a huge difference in how you play. Because
yeah,
when Jesus was brought on to Man City, you remember they still had Aguero, and he was young Brazilian. I was like, oh, this is the next whatever Ronaldo
Aguero, yeah,
or Aguero, whoever. Like this is the next dude, and there was all this pressure on him, and he still had Aguero on the team who was still fucking good, and
yeah,
like obviously better than Jesus. So like right there, he's fighting and struggling to make his mark, and just didn't really play his best. I think he was missing a lot of finishes, and I don't
yeah,
know. He's probably pressing too hard. And now he goes to Arsenal, where he's like, they are just in dire need of a quality striker, and
yeah,
is just treated like a god there. And it's like, you are the dude on this team. You're gonna play
yeah,
every game. You're gonna start up top. You're our number nine, and I feel like his confidence. He's like a different player now, and
yeah,
people's expectations are different of him now too.
yeah. No, yeah, you can see it. Like he just seems so confident and calm on the field. Like the touches he takes. He used to always like he was one of those players, kind of like Sterling, that would always do like most of the right shit and get really close to doing what he's trying to do, and it would be really cool, and then would just like somehow get fucked up, which
Do
is
that like
with
happy
Sterling.
feet right before he's about to hit it, and then just like
Yeah.
shank it off to the
And
side.
now he just seems so like calm and collected, like even when he's doing like crazy first touches and stuff, and like
Dude,
he
did you
just
see
yeah,
that
you get
that
he's playing with smoothness.
he missed or the goalie blocked it, but Odegaard like chipped it up to him on like a through ball, like off the right side of the goal, and he had this first touch that he brought it down with his right foot just perfectly, and then cracked it like one timed it, and it was really good. It was saved, but it was fucking
Yeah, yeah,
really
I
difficult.
remember seeing that one. Great touch and then shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Uh,
yeah, I would choose him.
oh, okay. I have one more. Would you rather? Because this is so Zaha didn't move in the transfer, but he was linked with Arsenal. There were rumors of him going to Arsenal. So my question is, Zaha or Martinelli for 1 year?
Zaha
So you
1 year
still take Zaha. Okay.
for 1 year.
Yeah.
For the future, I would take Martinelli probably.
I like Martinelli.
Yeah.
But I like Zaha more for sure. I'm with you on that one. But I want to show
Yeah.
you this was the best goal that never happened. Hang on. Um, watch this shit. Did you see this? Oh shit, my bad. No, I fucked it up. I missed the wrong thing.
Busy schedule on the horizon.
So
All right, hey guys, stay with me.
the
Deflection.
best goal that never happened.
It's his
Oh,
third goal
let's look at that first touch I was talking
and then he's
about.
out muscle
Yeah,
by
no,
a
this.
couple of minutes.
Where was it?
Where was it?
So back still not fit.
It was like an over-the-top ball. It was like
Yeah,
a great.
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I think that was it.
Well, so that's why we're not used to seeing it. It's because it shouldn't happen because your team shouldn't let it happen.
Ramsdale should be like, "Yo, Gabriel, fuck this guy up."
Yeah.
Or he shouldn't have to say that, but
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. All right. Do
right,
you have any
I got-
would you rather's?
Yeah, I got a few for you. So, first off, getting back to our transfer window, so there was a couple. You already mentioned one. A couple transfers that didn't happen that we were either hopeful of or were expecting to happen, and probably neither of the players are happy. So my question to you is, which one would you rather be? I.e., who do you think is more unhappy
I like
between
these.
these two? Pulisic not moving off of Chelsea or Ronaldo not moving off of Man U?
I think I'd rather be Ronaldo because I feel like Ronaldo's career has just been roses everywhere. Like he's done it everything, and at this point in his career, like he's still a good player, but he'll come off the bench and play 30 minutes. So like, what was the flip side of him? I don't know, going somewhere else and playing 90 minutes again. I just feel like he's accomplished so much that I don't feel as bad for him. I feel like it's easier for him to be like, whatever. I'm at this team where everybody loves me. They were chanting his name when he came into the game.
Yeah.
Like it was pretty sick. Like he's
Yeah.
at a place that loves him. He's got a bunch of history there. I would much rather be him. Pulisic, he's young. He's still trying to he's probably in his prime or trying to hit his prime, but he's not getting on the field. I would be pissed if I was Pulisic.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think I would much rather.
I'm
think
only
Ronaldo's-
drinking once for this, by the way.
I think Ronaldo's less upset, I would say. Or I would be less upset to be in his shoes than Pulisic, especially with the World Cup coming, needing to get competitive game time against international level opponents. Ronaldo already has that, So, yeah, I would be much more upset if I was Pulisic.
Honestly, if I was Ronaldo, I'd be like, hey, I'm just going to save myself for the World Cup and be ready. This is my last shot. And I will say, again, I am placing a bet on Portugal to win the World Cup. They are at plus 1,200, at least last time we looked. And their roster is fucking loaded. I don't understand why they're such a long shot. I really don't.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they got half a Wolves team, or all the Wolves team, and then,
No, but they Ronaldo.
Yeah.
They have Cancelo. They
Fernandes,
have the center back on Man City. Help me out.
Diaz.
Thank you. They have Bernardo Silva. They have Bruno Fernandes.
Jota.
Dude, Jota, when he gets back, they are fucking stacked. It's so crazy. I'm putting my money on them for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, they're...
Think about it. $100 bet could pay you $1,200.
Yeah. Down.
That's almost a trip to Bandon right there.
Yeah,
I'm doing it, baby.
It will pay off now. All right, so my second... Oh, speaking of, I forgot. Yeah, I need to text Kyle about that. So my second would you rather. So to start the season so far, you already named the three teams that have won. But three teams in the Premier League, not necessarily the bottom three, don't have a win. So there's three winless teams: Everton, Wolves, and Leicester. So they're not necessarily currently in the relegation zone, but they haven't yet won a game. Which of those three would you want to be
Leicester.
of the three?
I think Leicester is the best of those three. I do. I'm concerned about Wolves. I don't like how they look, and I feel like I don't understand why they got rid of Connor Cody. I think it hurts that he's not on the team anymore. We've already mentioned Jimenez not playing great. I just feel like they're not as stacked as they were. And I think Everton is actually better than their record. So
yeah, especially once they get some of their players back.
Like you said, with Madison in there for that Leicester squad makes a big difference.
Yeah.
So, and then Calvert-Lewin, how long's he out?
I don't know. I think he's out like a month or so or something.
When he gets back, they're going to be a more dynamic team.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'd go Leicester, then Everton, then Wolves. Sadly, my heart's with Wolves.
Yeah, I'm close. I would go Leicester first. Like I said, with Madison being back, I like the way they looked much better. But I would probably take Everton. Sorry, I would take Wolves over Everton.
And then Everton, yeah.
I would agree with you. I think they haven't been playing well, but they've made a lot of big money moves and brought in a lot of players. I think it'll take a little bit of time to mesh, but I feel like they have more sort of potential in them.
Yeah.
To more upside, I would say, than I would expect at Everton. But I would, same with you, I would choose Leicester first out of the three, even though they're in last place.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, exactly.
All right.
Any other would you rathers? Or you good?
No, that's it. You want to move into betting?
All right, real quick. Yeah, I have a couple of bets that I like.
Okay.
Coming up next week. I mentioned that Nottingham Forest at home against a bad team or a middle of the team, I'm going to hit hard. And they are at home against Bournemouth, and they are plus 105 to win. I think that's a steal. I would hammer that bet. So I like that one. I also think that the what was the one we both mentioned it?
The West Ham odds at Chelsea for an underdog.
There it is. Yeah. No, it's. Oh, I'm looking at the next week. Fulham at Chelsea. My bad. Yeah, West Ham at Chelsea plus 500 to win. Chelsea's favored 190. What's the draw? Plus 330.
Well, I like the draw there.
Those are good odds for a draw. They could easily draw. They could easily win, I think.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not easily, but I would put them at like a 20% chance of winning that.
So those two as a parlay would get us to a plus 782.
That
the
would
draw,
be crazy.
West Ham draw and Nottingham win would be plus 782.
Yeah, that would be that. This one too. Like Brighton at home against Leicester is minus 110 to win. That seems a little crazy to me. I would actually hit the other side of that and go Leicester plus 310 to win, or you could get plus 245 for the draw.
Yeah.
Both of these are pretty low-scoring teams. I could see a draw being a reality.
Yeah, 245 is pretty decent numbers there for that disparity.
And then Man City at Villa, over under 3 goals. I mean, how do you not hit the over on that? Right? They just scored 6.
Yeah.
They're playing Villa, who has looked the worst in the league, if you ask me. You're telling me they can't score 4? I like
Yeah.
that as well. What about okay, wait, this is the game that matters the most. Man United at home against Arsenal. Manchester United's plus 155 to win, Arsenal's plus 165 to win, so it's basically even odds to win. Are you touching that in any way? Do you have any feel in how that game's going to go?
No, I wouldn't touch it myself, just because I don't think there's a lot of value there. But
Outside of betting, who are you going to pick? If in pick'ems, who are you going to pick to win that? Because I already know who I'm picking.
I'm gonna pick a tie. I think.
Are you? You
Think
know what
so.
I do? I never pick ties. Ever.
Well, it's working over my strategy then.
Not really.
Last.
I'm in second to last place.
I'm
Regardless
in
to it.
last.
So maybe it's not.
It doesn't help that I missed 6 games.
Yeah, that doesn't help. But I think I'm taking Arsenal to win that game in the pick'ems.
Okay.
I need to make up some ground, and I think that might do it.
Okay.
I think they're playing better than Manchester United, even though I think Manchester
You don't
United...
pick. You don't pick any ties ever.
Very rarely. Very rarely. Maybe like once a week when I'm really at like a toss-up. I usually pick a winner, yeah.
Interesting.
I'm American.
An insight
Torrin.
to
I
the
don't like
strategy.
ties. I don't like ties.
What is that shit? All right, we do need to. All right, so well, what's on that parlay then? So it sounds like this week we're settled on a two pick parlay for plus 782. West Ham draw, Nottingham win. And then we do need to pick our prop bet. So we need to pick. Each of us needs to pick one underdog that we think will tie or win, and they need to be a greater than 100 underdog.
Greater than 100 underdog, okay. So, do you have yours picked yet?
I do have one that I want, yeah.
You do? Okay. I am very obvious with the one that I am going to pick.
Is it Crystal Palace?
Yes! I just like it's like man,
He can't help himself.
I can't help it. Like I can't help myself. But yeah, every time I see Crystal Palace, I'm like, Newcastle at home. They've been playing everybody tough. Who cares? I'll just take Crystal Palace. Like it's so dumb. Why can't I quit Crystal Palace? I don't understand.
He can't do it. He can't do it.
Okay. I need to like. I know that I'm making the wrong choice there, so I need to just go beyond it. So let me try to pick another one.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna go with Leicester because we mentioned that one, so I'm gonna take Leicester. That'll be my.
All right.
That'll be
I
my.
think that's a good pick.
better pick.
Yeah, against Brighton on the road. All right, I'm going with Leeds on the road at Brentford.
That was one I was looking at too.
Yeah. So let's think two
I
good
didn't like
picks.
how they looked last week, but I'm hoping it was just a 1 week thing.
Yeah, I'm concerned with Rodrigo's injury, but it looked like Bamford's back now.
Yeah, he fucked up my fantasy. I'm pissed at him. Yeah, Bamford's back. That'll help.
Well, we need to create a new rule because what if you say your own player's name?
Drink twice. Oh yeah, you didn't hit any of mine. Did I not mention any of your names? What were your names?
Bamford was one. I forgot about it and then just said it.
That was an obscure one.
Yeah.
So my obvious one you didn't say. I thought for sure you would have said Haaland at some point.
Oh, I thought Havertz was the obvious one.
No, Havertz was not the obvious one. I thought Haaland was the obvious one. I just led you into Havertz, so I kind of.
I didn't want to do anything. I don't want to do anything too obvious. So I did Bamford, Firmino, and Messi.
Oh, Messi! I like it. Outside the league.
Yeah, I had to get one outside the league that you might say.
My other one was Conte. I thought for sure you would say Conte at some point.
Oh yeah,
So it wasn't that you were like, it's got to be a player, and I was like, well, does it? Because I use the coach.
that's fine. Oh, I thought I was like I did say Conte. You're talking about the coach.
Yeah, the coach.
Yeah,
Uh,
well, it's funny that yeah, I should have thought more about the teams we would actually talk about. It was like, but all right. Well,
so I didn't say any of the names you had. Damn.
they never said Firmino. We didn't really talk about Liverpool at all, and then yeah, I ended up saying Bamford. So I could have probably led you onto that one better, but think about it.
Uh, Hang on, I want to try to. Dang, that's crazy. They don't have anything. I wanted to show you something real quick. Speaking of Conte, because I never got to see him play. But check this out.
Highlight reel.
We got a 1 minute and 25-second highlight reel. Check this out.
Oh yeah.
Look at, he's more bald there than he is now.
Yeah. What the fuck?
He got hair plugs. But look at him. Oh, come on, internets. It's technical difficulties.
Oh shit.
No, but he was like a central midfielder that would come up and he could crack it. Look at that. Oh, with the volley.
Yeah. A volley.
I've
He
seen
for
that
sure was
celebration on the
some-
sideline.
He was for sure on some PEDs back then.
Dude, all I want to say is when you look at footage like this, you're like, damn, man, how did we watch anything? It's like hard to see what's happening. Standard
Zanetti
definition
rolling up
is so
behind him there?
bad. Short hair, look at that. Oh, with the header? I love his emotion.
Yeah, he's so excited.
Yeah, ripped it. That's the thing also that you don't realize is like back in the day the ball was heavier.
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't like wiggle in the air nearly as
Yeah,
much.
you couldn't rip it like you can today. Oh, kind of a cool story actually. So my brother, I mentioned, was um, studying abroad in England, and he was staying at a house where it was just this couple that were like in their 80s. I met him when I visited him, and they don't have any kids, but they basically take in people who study abroad on a regular basis and give them their their extra bedroom. And the husband played on Arsenal in like the 50s.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And he had some shit around his house. It was super funny they were both like extremely nice people and really welcoming. The first night I get there, I'm jet lagged as fuck. My brother doesn't really drink, and I get there, and the dude who's probably like late 70s, maybe 80, is like, you want a whiskey? And I was like, fuck yeah, I want a whiskey. And so he just grabs this. He's got this sweet little bar set up. He pulls out this glass and pours me like 3 fat fingers of whiskey. Just like, and we sit in his little living room and just I was talking to him, and yeah, he played on Arsenal back when like it was they lived in North London. They were
Yeah,
real
like
close to the
he
city.
probably worked. Did he work at the Arsenal mill? Like that's what it's named after. It was like the munitions mill there.
I didn't ask, but maybe. But he still lives close to the stadium. He's still a huge Arsenal fan. But like he had the ball that he played with back in the day, and it was like a fucking medicine ball. That thing.
Jesus.
It was like, it looked nothing like a soccer ball today. The thing was like leather and heavy as fuck, and he said that people would like avoid headers because it like would fucking knock them out and shit.
Yeah. Well,
so like headers were like
only like certain people would do it.
yeah, or like in like a must have to do situation. But yeah, it was just crazy how heavy that ball was back in the day. But it's progressively gotten lighter. But it was cool to just talk to him. And yeah, he played on Arsenal way back in the day when it was much less glamorous and popular as it is now. But pretty sick.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really awesome. That's really cool. I remember I was watching some, it was like some match of the day thing or BBC or Sky Sport, whatever. When they were, there was something about like the 60-year anniversary of like Liverpool's like winning team or whatever. I forget what it was. But something like that. And they're like going around randomly interviewing people on the street. And there's just some old dude, like you said, like 80 years old or something, that they go up and say, probably because he looked old, they're like, hey, today's the anniversary of da-da-da-da-da, 60-year anniversary or something. What do you have to say about that? Do you remember that? Do you know, this guy that was there? And or like, do you know about this guy that was in this game? And he's like, yeah, I do. I actually know the guy. They're like, whoa, how do you know him? I was in the game. I played goalie.
That's fucking awesome.
He was actually the player. He was a player in the game that they were talking about. Random dude on the street that was just like you were.
That's so cool.
Totally minded his own business. He's like, I was there. I was the goalie.
That's the one downside I feel like to sports nowadays is like you don't have that local guy that is, everyone's a mercenary for hire. All the top players, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Which is why I really like players like Zaha, even though maybe it wasn't by choice, but like he's been in the same place for a while. I would love to be that guy than be like, I don't know, name any top player that's been on like 7 different teams, you know what I mean? Like I would rather stay in one spot and just own that city and just be a hero for those fans than jump around to 7 different teams.
Exactly. I'll send you the video when I find it. But yeah, it was really funny.
Yeah, do it.
All right. Well, I think that was a long one.
Oh fuck, that was a long one. Hour and a half.
Oh, with a bang.
Cheers, bro.
Cheers.
Holiday weekend coming up. You doing anything?
It's getting better, hopefully. Hitting the beach.
You sound fine, to be honest.
I'm a lot better at night. Today was still kind of bad, but my throat's really sore. But I'm not like as congested and coughing as much.
Honestly, it sounds like you have the same thing as Nikki and
it hurts when I swallow. Like every time I swallow, I'm like,
But you haven't coughed at all.
Yeah. So good.
That's good. That's good.
Getting better.
All right, so don't forget, put your picks in because that shit's starting up. Are there any games tomorrow or is it Saturday?
4:30 a.m. Saturday.
Saturday, yeah. Get your picks in. We can't miss any weeks this week. We got to hold ourselves accountable. That's the only way we win.
Yep. Yeah. Don't let me forget again.
Yeah. I got my fantasy football draft, the one that matters, the one that's in person this weekend, so that'll be good. Dude, we got a fucking heat wave going on. It's supposed to be like 95 plus down here.
Especially where you're at, it's going to be real hot, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be hot up here. It's going to be 80 this weekend on the beach, so that'll be nice.
Oh, fuck yeah. Well, you guys should hit the beach.
Perfect.
Yeah, come back Tanner next week.
All right.
We have a normal week next week, right? No games during the week, just next weekend? Or Not
Yeah.
like 10 days from now next weekend?
Yeah, next weekend.
Okay, cool.
Saturday.
All right.
First
So
game
we'll
of
be
week
back next
7.
Thursday. Let's do next Thursday live. You down for
Let's
that?
do it live. Fuck it.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Do it live.
Hell yeah. I'm actually going to have some beers that time too. So instead of no margaritas, no wine, we're going to have beer.
I want to see you down a 6-pack live.
All right, man. All right.
All right.
I'll see you next week.
See you.